Sounds good.
Hello, we're Bonnie and Greg Dixon for Storyvan TV, and here we're talking to Trevor Singleton, and his company is Single Source Coaching Solutions, and we're going to talk some coaching here.
So, Trevor, I just want to welcome you and share with everyone. I love his little motto, and that is the foot in the backside, because everyone needs a little kick in the what
so they don't backslide.
So they don't backslide. And so we welcome you to Storyvan TV, and we just want to ask you the big question of the day is, why coaching?
Why coaching? Of course, the response would be, why not? Well, truthfully, when it comes to coaching, I really have a passion for that. So when I was doing my master's degree, I got my master's in management. I then had discovered that there was this field called coaching. I was like, well, what is this field? So looking into it, I realized that I had been lay coaching my entire corporate life with friends, with family, things along those lines. I also been consulting. So it was important for me to find out the difference with coaching. I have a passion for coaching. My passion is because that when it comes to coaching, and I always like to do the difference, consultants, they get a problem. Someone tells them a problem, they look at the problem, look at the pieces, and they give you a solution. You take solution A, solution B, or solution C. However, with coaching, we take you through a series of exercises and questions, and you discover the answer that's inside of you. And these are areas that may have been latent, they have not been woken to, but it's an inner discovery. So I like to think of myself as an inner guide. I'm helping you to discover things inside of you that you did not know that was there. And that's the beauty of coaching. So I have a real passion for when people are able to discover things inside of them, because once they discover that that's there, that was there all along, or that there's a door inside themselves they never opened, there's that much more buy-in, there's more passion, they are that much more committed to their change and their breakthrough.
Can you give us an example, Coach Trev, about maybe a client, don't have to name their name, of course, but where they were here and you took them there, or you helped them discover a part of themselves? Can you give us an example of what that might look like for someone?
Sure. So I recently had a client. They needed some assistance in their course. They had signed up for a course, and where they were getting a particular degree. All right. So they were getting their degree, but the challenge they had was they had lost the momentum to complete the courses. If you're trying to get a degree, be it associate, bachelor's, master's, or PhD, what have you, there is a particular amount of courses that you need to take, be they electives or their required courses. What happened is that they lost the momentum, and what they were looking for is they was looking for somebody to hold them accountable. And that's one of the things that I do. I'm out there as an accountability coach. There's a lot of life coaches, but I help people to be accountable. So we always heard the term accountability partners. So I'm the accountability coach. Now, they came to me and they wanted to say, listen, I just need to pass this course. I don't care if I get a C or a D. That's all I need to do. So what I did was I asked them what their courses were. I broke down what were the means that they needed. Was there reading, video? And then I asked a question that you do not hear often. Anytime there's type of training or development along those lines, here's a question that you do not hear regularly. What is the best way that you learn? Mm-hmm. Many people are immediately start to train someone without asking that question. Someone may sit down, okay, this is what we're going to learn. They're going to just stand up on a board, start to write, and begin to teach without taking into consideration how that person processes information. That's a key ingredient in order to find that out. Some people learn from writing. Some people learn by just opening a book. Some people learn by doing. If you ask someone that before you start to train them, then that person is starting to think. They're actually saying now to themselves, this person actually cares. They're not throwing information at me. I get to decide and help them to train me. Then you get more buy-in for that. So I asked that question, how they learned. And when I found out what their learning style was, I employed that in our method and how we were to finish that course. At the end of it all, instead of them getting a C, they got an A+. And they finished the course quicker than they expected. So we had certain milestones. They were doing above and beyond the milestones because they were working with someone that was helping and holding them accountable.
Yeah, we understand that. We have a partner that we've been working with, and he likes things visual, and Bonnie likes to read things, and I like sometimes, even if it's video, I turn the video off. I listen to it, so I'm more likely to listen to a podcast. So when I'm creating something, I try to cater to all three ways. I like to have it in text, I like to have some video, and I like to have the audio as well. Mm-hmm. Which leads us to we understand you're starting a podcast.
Yes. Starting a podcast. Yes. So my podcast, the title of my podcast is called Coaching Through COVID, Purpose in a Pandemic.
That's great.
That sounds amazing. So with so many people, I've heard 20-30% may be changing jobs and a lot of life changes for people. Tell us what you're going to kind of talk about on this podcast. Right.
Sure, definitely. I'll give you some insight. And when you say that number, 20-30%, those are only the people that are reporting. We're not sure of the ones that aren't filling the surveys, who they're not interviewing. So that 20-30% is always within who they speak with. So I look at just some insight into COVID, and some into my podcast. At least the first episode was that looking at what we went through, especially sort of here in the U.S. or actually here around the world. Everyone had a regular mindset, just the mindset that we had. We could go to the movies. We could go out to eat. We could travel anywhere. If we had the means, we can go anywhere. You can go to Dubai. You can go to Vancouver, New Zealand. You can go, Micronesia, Monaco, Hawaii. You can go anywhere, Caribbean. You can go anywhere you wanted. Only thing that stopped you was the means. If you were at home, you ran out of something, just go to the store. It had it. There you go. If I'm low on towels, go get that. Napkins, need some fruit. Hey, we need to get some meat. We're going on that. So we have a mindset. So for years, generations, we had that mindset of being able to do what we want whenever we wanted. We had these freedoms and liberties that we took for granted. In no way, shape, or form did we ever think that this was going to be cut off, that we would need to prepare to do that. So COVID comes. In comes March 20, and all of a sudden there's not a subtle buildup. There's not anything prior to March that says, well, hey, we think in a few months, so you may want to start building up there. No, that was a screeching halt. And so that screeching halt to the mindset you get through. There's no blueprint. And I characterize that as trauma. There was mental trauma that happened to over 300 million people, and that's just in the US. Their lifestyle changed overnight. They came to work. They were told, hey, here's my laptop. Here's my laptop. Here's your laptop. You need to go home. They were like, what? And then they went home. Then they
saying, all right.
Yeah, someone said, all right. But then they were like, oh, I need to go to the store. And for the first time, they probably went to the store and said, there's no shopping cart.
Yeah.
the shopping carts are out. And then you went to the aisle with, and it wasn't there.
Or you're letting 10 people into the store at a time.
Yes.
Exactly. Or we're limiting the meat you can buy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Two of my sisters that exactly happened to. One worked for Water Power of Los Angeles, another worked for a school system in Bishop, California. And both of them were, you nailed it. They were given a laptop, actually was sent to their houses, and they were to work from home,
Right.
you know?
It is so traumatic. I mean, so, you didn't even get time to prepare for that. It was a
Right.
screeching thing. And so the purpose that I'm doing with the podcast is to help people in this pandemic to be able to navigate through it, because even though it's been 18 months, and I'm using March the 2020 as the barometer, though it's been 18 months, people think, okay, now it's been 18 months, people are used to it. Time does not heal wounds. Just because something passes doesn't mean that that trauma is healed. So my goal with the podcast is to help people walk through and navigate so that their mental health stays on par, and that they're able to see and open doors to potential breakthroughs in their lives that they may not even imagine.
So this might not even be just for work. This could be just for life.
For life, yes.
In general.
Correct. For anyone that tunes in, I mean, this impacts. There's no blueprint to what we're doing now. So hopefully, as you're listening to it, you begin to open the door and you become vulnerable to admit and say, "Hey, I do need help. Maybe this is the help that I need. What are the things that I can do to navigate through this?"
I think what you're sharing is pretty profound, because I'd say, quote, in the old days, people didn't talk about mental health, and it's just as important as physical health, because if our mind is all over the place, it becomes a very fearful place. But if we have those tools that it sounds like you help people with to guide them through the challenges of life, then it looks a lot brighter. It changes the attitude. Can you speak to that a little bit about the mental health aspect of coaching?
Yes. So definitely when people are thinking about it, and you said it exactly on point. It's almost like you listened to that episode, Bonnie. Literally, I say that mental health is on par as your physical health, because your body can, you can work out as much as you want, but one of the people know that the key to a good workout is the rest that you get. Now, when we're talking about rest, we're not talking about, we're talking about absolute rest. And rest is mentally how you're processing things. Yes, you can go to bed at 9, and yes, you can lay down and your body be at rest for 7-8 hours. But if your mind is still processing, you're wondering, well, what am I going to do now that now that I'm home and I have kids, or if I'm home and now my water bill is higher and everything. A lot of these things are higher because you're at home. You're using more of your resources, so you're not really resting. Your body is, and your mind's constantly going. Understand, the body follows what the mind is, and if the mind is not resting, then the body is going to follow suit. So yeah, you laid down, but you're wondering when you get up in the morning, instead of 1 cup of coffee, you need 3, or you need coffee by the IV. You're wondering. So it is so important, your mental health, how you process things. What coaching does is coaching helps you to actually break through, you begin to open up doors in your mind in regards to how you can be and operate in a different manner. What is your purpose, your goal? How can you find that joy, combine it with happiness, and operate in an optimal level?
So that's really exciting for people to know who you help. So your ideal client that you love to work with, who might that be? Who is that person that you might be looking for? And they're looking for you too.
I know my ideal client. Anybody? No. I'd love to say anyone, but really, my ideal client right now for coaching. Let's say for an accountability coach, maybe let's say it would be possibly new managers that are encompassing that you've just been promoted. You're not sure how to manage, how to develop, and how to staff your people. and what is the type of review that I need to be doing. So that would be one. Directors, people who have now changed their clientele, and they're now saying, okay, I've been promoted to a director, so I'm not reporting five. I don't have 5 people. I now have 20 or 40 people. And also maybe business owners that have that you've grown your business up to the point where you now have to take on staff. So I've seen the pain points where, whether you're in the corporate world or whether you're outside, whether you're in a nonprofit, whatever arena, if the head, meaning the manager, is not trained and not well versed, not comfortable in their position, then that uncomfortability, that anxiety transfers to the body, to your reports, to your staff, to your people. And then that happens is that they're no longer invested in being there. They're not going to put down roots in your business, in your company. So when it comes to my corporate clients, those will be my ideal clients. In regards to those people that are looking for breakthrough, it's anyone that feels really stuck in their careers. If you've been in your career for about 10, 15, about 5, 10 years, and you're not sure where to go. And also if you think, and the second would be for those that, let's say you're out of work, and or you're wondering, what's my next step? I'm comfortable where I'm at, but before I begin to apply myself to just any old job, I want to know what's my passion, what's my purpose, what's something that I can operate in. So different cycles for different folks.
Mm-hmm. The very last thing you said, I think there's going to be a lot of people, and I'm sure some of these people are listening right now, and they're saying, oh, I'd really like another job. But having a coach behind you, walking and encouraging you and sharing, helping you discover your own skills, might be the best investment they could ever make, because they could probably get a better job than they've ever thought about, and one that really suits them or fits them. And or maybe they're looking for a small business and they're not sure, if they want to really do that or need to do that, because that's a whole nother genre where they're moving from maybe corporate to their own business.
Right. And the good thing is that with single source coaching solutions, the goal is to be sort of that single source for whatever your coaching needs may be. And the one thing I like about coaching is that we, as a coach, we work well together. So there may be someone has a coaching client that I might better serve them, and so they refer them to me. And then potentially someone may say, hey, I need, that they may need a focus about, it might be emotional intelligence, or a focus there, something that someone else is stronger in. And I say, okay, I've had this client up to a point. Now it's time to transition them to this person or this thing. So it's a conglomerate, it's a body, because our goal, a coach's goal, is to help you to be able to change your mindset so that your mental becomes instrumental in your breakthrough.
Coach Trev, what's the best way for people to find you?
Best way you can find me, you can go to my website, www.sscoachingsolutions.com. You can go to my Facebook. I'm on Facebook, Single Source Coaching Solutions. I've got a YouTube channel, same name, Single Source Coaching Solutions. I'm also on Instagram, SS Coaching Solutions, and on LinkedIn. And look out for my podcast.
And where would they find that podcast?
Podcast right now is on Anchor. And you can also go to Spotify. It's on Spotify, and shortly it's going to be on Apple. So for anybody that's got a Mac there, look out for Coaching Through COVID. So they should be looking for, there should be some episodes coming soon.
And there'll be a link maybe on your website as well?
Definitely. Yep. There'll be a link on my website to the podcast, and also for my YouTube, because I've had a number of videos that I've put up. And so from those videos there, they might want to look out for those that sign up, and those that want to do a discovery call. You may get to be able to get some insight on a potential book.
Okay, I was just going to say, we're going to put the foot on the other, the shoe on the other foot here,
Yeah.
and say, "I love your tagline."
The foot in your backside, making sure you don't backslide. So we're yes, so we're going to look for your book.
We are going to be looking
late
for your book.
October, is it?
And I do believe that will be another interview
Yes,
for
yes.
Story Van TV, because I want to hear all about your book.
Yes, yes. So for those that sign up and that are able to go to my Facebook and YouTube, and it also going to put it on my website as well. There's a series that I've been running called the Doorway series. And so this Doorway series, it started off as one and now has exploded into 12 chapters, 12 different videos about different doors and the impacts of doors. Because as we know, doors have access. You transition from one place to another room. So now you'll begin to see, and as you hear throughout our time here, how doors can open things, and there's also times you need to know how and when to shut a door to something else.
But you could be the key to open that door, to help someone open that door.
I'm telling you, Bonnie's been looking at my videos. I believe that might be episode 2, the importance of these.
So we'll put in we'll put in links in to the YouTube channel as well, and just to go back here, and then your website is sscoachingsolutions.com.
Yes.
And I see you've got all sorts of links here on the side.
Yes, I do. Yep.
To the Facebook and Instagram.
Yep. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
Yeah.
Made it easy.
You're everywhere.
Yeah. Well, we so appreciate you taking the time today to share with people the value of coaching, whatever your endeavor is.
Yeah.
I believe Coach Trev can help you out with that.
That's right. Anyway, thank you very much for joining us. We're going to play this little video out again, and then we can talk a little bit more. Okay, here goes.
Thank you.
Thank you.